What is a useless talent you have? I can crawl on all fours extremely fast. I found this out as a teenager in Taekwondo. We did a lot of weird exercises in our workouts. Crawling was one, and I got tagged in to crawl to one side of the gym, and backhand went fast af. I burned everyone. I crawl like a rock skipping across a pond. I even surprised myself and remember some people laughing at the time. It definitely must look strange, lol. I did it at home a few times to show people, but it gives rub burn very easy. I have none, but my husband. Name almost any dead celebrity and he can tell you where they are buried. Sometimes he can tell you who they are buried next to. Dan, does he have anything to do with their deaths? Maybe he has everything to do with their funerals and burials. I can throw up on command. Gross and not nearly as useful as crying. You can get out of so many things with vomiting. Don't want to be at work. Vomit. Someone pisses you off. Vomit on them. Someone tries to attack you. Vomit on them. See someone parked into spots. Vomit on their car. As someone that can fake cry, vomiting would be a lot more useful in my daily life. I can tell by the sounds of many different songbirds, and there is a bird of prey flying overhead. I got very confused at a local supermarket with the amount of different bird calls. Then, I found out it was a recording of different birds to discourage pigeons from roosting there. I never forget a face. If I've seen it once, I'll remember it if I ever see it again. Pictures are a little harder because it's a frozen moment in time, and they may never look the same way. Case in point, when I was 12, my dad introduced me to a guy and we chatted for a few moments. Almost 30 years later, my dad and I were out and I said, "Dad, is that so and so?" And sure enough, it was, and my dad was able to reconnect with someone he hadn't seen in 20 years. I think the police could use you. I can cup my hands together and shoot water 10 to 12 feet in a straight line. It's like always having a water gun on me. When I do it without water, it makes a fart noise, which is like always having a whoopee cushion. I'm really good at guessing the appropriate container size for quantities of food or liquid. For example, when I make soup, I don't measure what I put in the pot or use a recipe, but it'll always come out as exactly 1 or 2 or 3 quarts on the nose. My boyfriend gets excited whenever I cook and put food away to see if I fucked up this time, but I never do. I can solve a Rubik's Cube in around 9 seconds. Unless I get faster, it's not like I can make money from it or anything. I can balance almost anything on the palm of my open hand. Rake, golf club, shovel, open ladder, work and alcoholism. I can throw cards. I can laugh genuinely with a completely straight face. It creeps people out. I can put my legs behind my head. I've yet to be kidnapped but hope it may be useful then. Blink twice if you're being held hostage. I'm extremely talented at procrastination. No matter how badly I want something done, it will be procrastinated on. God, I wish I could stop doing it. I have a hyper-realistic impression of a dog bark. My friends will think there is an actual dog around and get disappointed when they realize that it was me. I can pull apart to pieces of flat Lego without using my teeth. This is a very useful talent. I can fold a fitted sheet so well that it looks indiscernible from a folded flat sheet. Which I can think of a song to fit any situation, or at least change the lyrics of one to fit. I do it automatically without even thinking. It only takes me a second and is completely pointless. I'm weirdly good at recognizing fonts. I once entered a talent competition playing a recorder using my nose. The judges were confused and decided I wasn't worthy of first place. With a couple of warm-ups to get the weight, I can flip a coin for the same result consecutively a bunch of times. My record is 44. Can usually, reliably do at least 20 every time. Works best with a UK to pence piece. I can eat fast. Like real fast. Picking locks and sneaking up on people really quietly. I can move my ears independent from my face and vibrate my eyes. No idea why. I can hula hoop forever. I didn't think it was a talent until I realized no one can do it that I know. This is useless because I don't even do it anymore. I'm really good at catching things that are falling because I clumsily knock them over. I'm like an oaf in the front half of a second, and a ninja on the back half. I have roughly the same number of spills as the average person, but with extra steps. I've done it with multiple falling objects, behind my back, with my feet. Things usually don't hit the ground around me. I can write without looking. Theoretically, I could write an essay blindfolded. I am genetically unable to get brain freeze. I can chug an entire slushie without consequence. I can do a ton of voices. You'd think it would be useful, but I've been trying to get into voice acting for 20 years. Edit. Thank you everyone. I should reiterate, I gave up trying in my 20s. I try every now and then, but I haven't really put the work in as I should. I don't have a quality mic or a portfolio, but you guys have really inspired me. I'm much more interested in voice acting for gaming. I can do cartoonish voices, but I do best in something more dramatic. I can hit just about anything within 60 feet or so with a rock. I grew up on a farm and spent countless hours on our gravel road picking up rocks and firing away at stuff, mostly fence posts. There are some guys doing something like that and making good money, but with a basketball instead of a rock though. I can take a nap for a specified amount of time, like say 22 minutes. I also know right before a timer is about to go off. My dad does the same thing. He calls it a 22-minute reset when he's about to take a nap. He sets up an alarm. The first 2 minutes are for him to fall asleep, and the rest is for when he's sleeping. He always wakes up just seconds before his alarm goes off. I can bend my knees backwards so my knee has an about 140-150 degree angle. Never measured it. You should post a pic so I can throw up looking at it. I can move my ears up and down. Freaks the hell out of people who see it for the first time. If you're wondering, I went to a school where twisting your ears was an appropriate form of punishment. One teacher twisted my left ear a little too hard one day, and soon enough I could move it. Same thing happened to my other ear a year later. I can tell you the day of the week for any given date off the top of my head. I can fuck up pretty much anything. Jerk off with my left hand. I can disappoint anyone. This comment has already disappointed me. I can switch accents that are actually condensing mid-convo. Likewise, confuses people from different cultures. Love it. Always put the USB in the right way on the first try. Which, I'm not 100% accurate, but I can look at people and tell where they're from without hearing them speak a single word. I'm American and can do this with Americans as well as non-Americans. Example. Last summer I had a group of 5 and I identified to Belgians, a French and a German. One was so unbelievably impressed that he offered me $50 if I could precisely identify the 5th person, a woman, in the group. I looked at her, guessed French Algiers, and won the most unlikely $50 of my life. I'm a small legend in my line of work and the tourists are dumbfounded every fucking time. Ability to go from anxiety to full-on panic attack in under 3 minutes. Thanks for watching. Share your stories in the comments.